Alright guys, I'm back with the Fbody build here. So it's been a minute since I've made a video. I'm trying to block that light with my head. It's been a minute since I've made a video. I have made some progress on the car, but it's like very slow going. So I haven't really recorded much because it's like every time I'm out here, I'm just trying to figure out what I need, what the next thing is. So I'll show you what I have done so far and what I am waiting on. So I'll show you this. This is where I'm at. This is the eBay turbo, the 76mm turbo. Yeah, I mean, what you see is what you get. It's a cheap turbo. So pretty much everything else I've ordered to accompany this thing has been off Amazon. So this oil adapter on the top for 4AN. There's a 10AN adapter on the bottom. Pretty much all of the lines are from Evil Energy. I have not ran them yet, but I'm not sure if you recall, but I have like an ICT billet. The thing that goes, like there's like the bypass type deal, whatever it is, above the oil pump on the pan. One of those lines will adapt to 4AN, and then it's going to run to the front, feed to the turbo. It's going to drain out of 10AN. Now, I was hoping I wasn't going to have to run a scavenge pump, but the lighting's probably not great. But pretty much where this line is coming out right here, and where I'm going to feed it, which is back there on the pan. Not sure if you can see that. If the car was on the ground, they would probably be about level, which is no good. So I did order a scavenge pump off of Amazon, and we'll see how that goes. There's a pretty much, I've looked at like the Sloppy Mechanics group. I've read on some forums and stuff. Most people say they have pretty good luck with them. But if you look at the reviews, people, there's mixed reviews. So we'll see. I will say a lot of people are more likely to put a review when the item's really bad than like if it works okay, so I'm hoping that that's mostly what that's about. I mean, most of the reviews were good, but then some people were just saying that the pump stopped working out of nowhere, this and that. I don't know, maybe it was user error or something, but we'll find out. So the plan is I had to order a few more 10AN fittings. So I need another 90. So this 90 is going to go here. We'll have the line come out. I'm going to kind of put, there's a bolt here. I might have to find another spot to bolt or something. We'll see. But my idea is I'm going to put a piece of metal here and have it come down, and then have the pump bolt to that piece that comes down. That way it's about level with this line here. And so the line will come out, bend, go into the pump, out of the pump, into the pan. So I have read a lot of people talking about, putting a reservoir for the oil. People said that like the pump that they used didn't hold, keep up with the amount of oil they need to pump out of the turbo. I'm not sure if that'll be a problem or not, but it won't be a huge deal for me to find some sort of a reservoir and put it in here, just because there's a lot of room. So what else do I have? So I ordered as well from Michigan Motorsports. I ordered their it's a 2-foot loom extender. So this one, obviously it'd go back there, but got this O2 in. That one, there's one that's back here. It's pretty much like under the cross member, right at the back of the cross member. It really doesn't need the full 2 feet, but I don't want it to go in between the headers at all or anything. I don't want this to get hot. So I'm running it to the front, and then it's sort of I'm gonna try to zip tie it or something. There is some sort of a thing coming out right here. Maybe I can just kind of wedge it right there. But both of the O2 sensors are hooked up. I will need a V-band, 3-inch V-band, and then I think what I might do is I might wait till the car runs so I can get it on the trailer and take it to somebody to get the exhaust done. Plan is to just do a V-band 3-inch out and then down, and then over here it'll come out like a bumper exit over there. So not too worried about that because the car will run without the exhaust on it, but obviously I can't tune it or anything because the wideband will go into this pipe. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal the wideband out of my truck because my truck has a 6-liter with a cam in it, and it still has a 4L60. So it's tuned as far as like drivability and like part throttle and all that, but I really don't want to beat on it. Like, it's not worth it to me to beat on it and you know, do wide open throttle pulls and stuff. So it really hasn't been tuned for that. And I really don't feel like breaking my transmission just for no reason. So I'll probably steal the wideband out of that truck and put it in here instead. So that'll be free. Although, like, if you were doing this yourself, it wouldn't be free. What else? Okay, so another thing, which actually probably the biggest thing, but for some reason it slipped my mind. I have pieced together an air to water setup. Now, I bought it on eBay. It was there is a website called like Silicone Intakes or something like that has a kit where they supply an air to water intake, like a ice box, a pump, all that stuff. But what I found was I'm pretty sure that the intercooler itself is the same one that they sell on eBay, and I could piece together all those parts even cheaper, although the silicone intakes kit was extremely cheap for what it is. But I'll show you. I'll kind of mock it up a little bit, but I do have a picture of everything mocked up. So let me, I'll at least put the intercooler in and then show you exactly what I have going on here. And then like, I'll just show a picture of the whole thing mocked up, what it will look like when it's done. So just give me 1 second. Okay, so as you can see, this is the air to water. I got this off of eBay. I want to say it was approximately $150, which is an insane deal. I don't really know how well it will work, but as long as it doesn't leak water into the intake, I think it's a win. So, let me think. So the first thing is I decided to go from the outlet of the turbo to here, just straight over. And I'm pretty much doing this because I did not want to relocate my radiator. I didn't want to have to run lines or intercooler piping through each side over here, because my plan is they sell a surge tank on eBay with like 2 Chinese fuel pumps, and it's extremely cheap, like maybe $230. Well, I've seen and read online that people have been using these for good amounts of horsepower. So essentially I'll have a 4AN line coming from the tank. It'll just go to the surge tank. The surge tank has like a bunch of like terminals on the top, so I'll have to probably try to wire in a Hobbs switch, and then just wire in the primary pump with that fuel pump wiring, and it should supply all the fuel I'll need for E85 on this, and I won't have to run new lines from the back. I won't have to change out the pump that's in there, although I don't really know what pump's in there, but I assume that it's not that crazy given the setup that was on the car, and given that it's there's only 6 AN fuel lines on it as is, so I can't imagine that the fuel pumps are that good. Anyways, I didn't want to use up this space over here because I was going to make a plate for over here and mount the surge tank over here and then just run it to the intake over there. So if I were to do like a air to air, I would have to run probably from here over into there and then like sort of like out front and then over and back through. Well, I did not want to use up that space because I knew I wanted to use a surge tank. Plus, if the air to water works, it will be far more effective for what I'm trying to do. This car is going to be a dig car, so hopefully it doesn't leak and it works good. So I had to order a bunch of silicone pieces. I'll just show you vaguely where everything's gonna go. So I pretty much have, these are a little messed up because I just tore them off, but I got a 90 here from the turbo inlet. And then this is like a 3.5 to a 3, which will go right there. So pretty much just a straight pipe from the turbo to the intercooler. Now this pipe, I'm going to need the blow-off valve on. And the reason why, at least this is what I read, so I don't know how true this is, but I read that, especially on like air to waters, anything like that, you want your blow-off valve to be before the intercooler. Main reason being that if you are releasing air past the intercooler, all of the hot air coming out of this turbo is just going to be blowing through the intercooler and heating it up and heat soaking it. But if you have your blow-off valve before the intercooler, it'll be releasing all the hot air, just like when you're idling, not under boost, all that. It'll release all that hot air before the intercooler, so your intercooler will stay cooler longer, especially if you're using ice, this and that. So that's the plan for that side. And then I have a pipe here. Let me grab it. It's falling over. So this pipe here, this is not very optimal because honestly what I need is like a properly sized pipe with like pie cuts. But the elbow, I have an elbow that's going from the inlet of the intake, kind of like a 90. It goes like roughly like that. So if you can imagine, there'd be a 90. Try and do this with one hand. I'll have a 90 coming out here, bending that way. This piece should be like that, roughly. Not sure how well you can see that. The problem with the 90 is it comes out a little too far, so it kind of bends when I have these pipes mocked up. But I think it'll work fine, actually. And then once I have it running and everything, I could take it to someone and they could do like some proper piping, like put pie cuts in it and everything. But with the pipes that I had that came with the kit, I only had a few options. So this one I'll have to, I'm gonna borrow like the, whatever you call that, like the roller puts the edge on it. So those don't blow off. And then this right here is a bung that I need welded. So a lot of what I'm waiting for is the welding. That and then the scavenge pump. Now, we'll be deleting the MAF sensor, obviously, and it will be getting just like a normal GM intake air temp sensor. So I'll show more of that once I actually have the bungs welded in and I have it wired up, and we'll talk about how that works. But if you're watching this, you probably know. And then the last thing I need is, this is probably gonna look crazy. These are for the wastegate. Now, as you can see, I have it like hillbilly rigged with some all thread and some nuts. And so what I did is the big thing with this car is it doesn't run. And so I can't really take it to someone to fabricate stuff onto. And I also don't have 220 in this garage. So doing some proper welding is not really a good option for me. So I figured I would do everything I could for my buddy to see if he can, just have to weld, like doesn't have to do anything else, just do the welding and no thinking. So essentially what I did here was I mocked this to where if it's bolted up, it's clearing down here. I don't know if you can see that. And then the wastegate will be bolted down here. And so I had to order some pipe, which you can see right there, just some stainless steel pipe. And so that should be pretty easy, maybe like one pie cut, and weld it in, and it should be good. What else? I don't think there really is much else as far as the turbo kit. We'll see how it performs, but a lot of people on like the Fbody group on Facebook said that it's gonna rub, which it might. We'll see. I mean, my turbo kit on my 300 rubs sometimes. I mean, the turbos don't hit or anything, but the exhaust pipes have rubbed and things like that. And the thing is that car is extremely low. Like, I have it lowered. It's on drop springs. And yeah, it does rub a little bit, but the most important thing is that the exhaust piping is the lowest thing, not like something crucial like the actual wastegate or the turbo or anything like that. So hopefully we don't have too many problems. The people in the group were trying to, make it sound like these cars are extremely low and that it's going to rub no matter what, which maybe that's true, but I just, I feel like I have a car that is really low and has turbos pretty much on the ground. And yes, it rubs, but it's really not that bad. So I don't know if they're exaggerating. We'll see. That's all part of buying a mystery kit and putting it together. So other than that, I'll have to get injectors, and probably we'll have to get a new fuel pressure regulator that can be boost referenced, because the one on here is just some cheapo. So I'll have to look into cheap options for that. More than likely going to do decapped injectors. Going to try to find a cheap fuel pressure regulator. And then, like I said, I'm going with the cheap surge tank off of eBay. So, yeah, I think that's it. I just wanted to do a quick update. It's not very quick, but I wanted to do a quick update and just show the progress, what I'm doing. I know it's not super exciting, but yeah, I mean, it's just taking a lot of time because every time I come out here, I run into a new problem and I got to order it on Amazon or whatever, and then I'm waiting. So I'm hoping to be able to start this car maybe Saturday. Today's Thursday. I work tomorrow night, so probably not tomorrow. But once I get like the oil line set up, I can prime the turbo with some oil, and then I could technically start it, which would be nice. So yeah, I think that's it. So give me your opinion. I still have some things I got to buy. Still got to think of some things, but I think I got most of it figured out. Yeah, let me know what you think. I'll leave a link to the air to water intercooler. So if anyone's interested in that, I probably wouldn't buy it until, maybe I run some water through it, because like I said, the big thing is I just want to make sure it doesn't leak, because that's probably my biggest worry. So I'll link it, but yeah, I don't recommend it yet until I run it. So yeah, like I said, give me your suggestions and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.